We've had a massive snowstorm come through that left a sheet of ice everywhere. And this is one little hack I use to stay warm in the wintertime. And do you have any frugal living hacks to stay warm in the middle of a snowstorm? If you do, please let me know in the comments. Look, I made me one of those little tea light chimneys to save money on my electric bill. Feel the heat about a foot above the opening of the clay pot. That works pretty well. I've got my heat set to 60. It's 67 right now. All right, I think I made a mistake. So with my Mr. Buddy heater, I've got to run the hose through the window. But you know how on old trailers, these are like storm windows on the inside? I should be able to open the interior window, but the exterior actual storm window is probably sealed shut. I have an idea. If I cannot open the exterior window to run the hose through, I took my bubble wrap off of the window and I've got the interior window pulled up. The exterior window, you can see it's got ice on it. So I'm gonna let the air inside warm this up, and then we're going to try to lift this up and get it cracked so I can get the hose to the Mr. Buddy heater through the crack in the window. Let's see if I can do this. The metal frame has a little bit of ice on it. I'm hoping I can get this open. I can pry this up with the back of a hammer, but you see this knob here? It finally loosened up where I can pull it forward, spring it towards the center, but I've got to hold that in place to be able to pry that up. An idea. I'm going to use what I've got, and what I've got are 2 small containers that I'm placing at each end of the window. One down and one to go. Now it's time for the hammer. And to make this work, we are also using a screwdriver, and I'm wedging it underneath the window and gently tapping with the hammer. Let me show you how I loosen up the ice from the edge of the window. We're not done with this board yet. I think we can use this to prop open the window. I did it. Let's go ahead and fit the hose through the window. Perfect. Now we have just enough room to thread the hose through the window when the time comes to heat the house. Stuff something right there. A little towel and some Amazon packaging. We're going to stuff this. Yeah, I did just roll this up a little better. And I got a plastic bag. I'm just going to set this in the bag. See, it'd be paying to save these Food Line bags. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this works. Okay, that works. What I'm doing is I'm taking the bubble wrap, and instead of having it on the inside of the window, I'm putting it on the exterior storm window facing the interior. It's a good thing I got somewhat thin arms that I can reach up under here. As you can see, I'm using a screwdriver to push the bubble wrap upward. I think this is going to work out pretty good. We've got the bubble wrap. We have this little air gap right there. I'm going to bring the interior window, I almost said storm window, the interior window down as far as I can. Well, I'm absolutely impressed by this. But wait, there's more. This is some fabric I have left over for a sewing project I'm going to do. I rolled the fabric up nice and neat to apply to the window. Okay, that works. And I put a pair of wool socks. It ain't just for your feet. I closed up the little gap right here because the exterior window is open so I can fit the hose through when the time comes. All I gotta do is pull these socks out, thread the hose through, go outside, hook up the propane, and then we're gonna have heat, baby. Do you see the way I folded the bubble wrap over so it's actually right in the middle between the 2 windows? So I'm hoping that's going to help some of the cold air. It doesn't feel bad in here. I'm just saying. It might seem a little, I don't know, redneck or ghetto or whatever you want to call it, but I think this is going to work. Time for emergency chocolate. What we're doing right here is a little upgrade to the situation. I took a plastic bag, balled it up, and put it in the gap. Now when I need to thread the propane hose through the window, I take out the socks, the wool socks, and then I remove the balled up plastic bag. Right, we good to go. Now let me show you my propane setup outside. I keep the 20-pound propane tanks outside for safety. Just built a makeshift shelter so I can handle it when the time comes. This snowstorm has been massive and it left me a sheet of ice to deal with. But I got creative this year. Let me show you what I did. The buildup of ice right here is after I came outside several times and swept it off of the porch while it was sleeting. Now that I broke it up, I'm just going to sweep this right off of the porch. Now for the really cool part, watch this. Look how clean the porch is. This plastic, it works. Makes life easier. Now I'm just going to remove some of the leftover snow. We're in the bedroom. You can see I've got a little layer of bubble wrap at the top there. The exterior frame has some ice that's melting. If you can see that, that's mold. I went ahead and cleared the bubble wrap off of the interior window and put it on the exterior storm window. Now I'm just doing my best to stay warm. It gets really cold in my bedroom. So this is the exterior wall and it's really cold. Let me show you how I fix it. What I've done is I've taken a small wool blanket, a wool throw, and I wrapped it around the body pillow that I use as a headboard. And what this does is help trap some of the cold air that's coming right through the wall. Because my trailer, it's not insulated well. It just is what it is. So I just do the best that I can using what I've got. All of my wool blankets I've gotten at the thrift store. I'm still replacing the outlet gasket cover sealer thingies, and I've got a big old draft right there. I already took my utility knife and I scored the edging right through here because it's sealed with paint. I got my flathead screwdriver, and what I do is I just pry this up a little bit on the edges until it pops off. Come on, outlet cover. It's cold. The wind chill is out of control. All right, so now what I do is I pop this on like this, and I have to score right here to make an opening large enough to get this through. So you want this piece here and there to be exposed so it'll pop right back in. That feels like I got the AC on. That's what the outlet feels like. AC. All right, I got this. Let's go ahead and pop it back on. Hopefully this will work good enough where it'll help. That's what I do. I just take my foot. Whoops, that was my lamp. I just take my foot and go like this to try to pop it back on. If my foot doesn't work, I just take the back of the screwdriver and I whack it like this. If that don't work, then I break out the hammer and I just tap along the edges like that. To remember all of the outlets I've worked on, I'm keeping this record. That's the map of my trailer. I'm almost done. I've got a few more outlets to cover, but they're higher up. These were the worst ones, the big culprits. One of my other tips for staying warm during a winter storm in my all-electric trailer is to use wool products. And do you remember when I got these brand new LL Bean wool socks from the thrift store? Well, I've washed them up and now I'm air drying them. Wool might be a little itchy, but it's going to keep you warm in winter. I've been cooped up all day. The porch is pretty clear because we use the shower curtain liner. Let's venture out. Glad to have the clear steps, thank God. One step at a time. Ooh, it's looking like ice. Yep. Trying to, oh, I can just walk on top of it. Look at that. We ain't trying to slip and slide out here. Oh, Lord. Got my storm box ready right here. Look, instant coffee. Hello. I ordered these recently from Amazon because my other scissors broke, and I'm going to put this to good use for the winter storm to stay a little bit warmer. I put the brown bags, I cut them open and put them on the floor. I took up my rug because somebody told me water damages it. So, I think with all the snow that's going to, or rain that's going to come in, I just want to protect the $5 rug. So I cut this piece of the bag off. Let me show you what I do with this. Take this and fold it. My trailer has one closet in the bedroom, and it feels like a meat locker in there. So I'm stuffing this brown paper bag in the seam of the door to slow down the draft of cold air that comes through. This paper bag is not a long-term solution, but it's getting me through the storm. Do you remember this little coffee pot I got? I've had it for a while. I took it apart, and I think maybe I should remove some of that grime right there. What would you recommend? I think this is from the 60s. I don't want to mess up the wiring, but should I clean these terminals? What do you think? Please let me know in the comments. Out my thermos because I'm getting ready for the big snowstorm. I'm cooking up some eggs. I did find one green egg in my fridge. That's the one I cracked. Having some tea. We're going to add the horseradish cheese. Breakfast, we've got the eggs with horseradish cheese on top with a bunch of guacamole, all healthy fats for me. I'm excited about this, getting ready for the snow. Do you remember the chicken wings I got on my food pantry haul? It's time to heat these up and have a good meal. I heated up the chicken wings, looking fabulous. I've got the horseradish cheese. I have guacamole and a Brazil nut. If you're a brand new viewer, thank you for watching my channel, and I hope I earned your subscription tonight. To all of my returning subscribers, thank you for being here. If you would like to be notified when a new video comes out, please hit the notification bell. If you would like to support my channel further, you can like and hype the video or even become a channel member. And if you missed my last video, it's right here, right above Mr. Turtle. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.